Good morning. I'm Susan Grissom with Grissom Law Firm. We're a small firm located in Johns Creek, Georgia. I'm authorized and licensed to practice law in the state of Georgia, and we focus in the areas of estate planning, uncontested probate, and small business law. Today I want to just talk briefly about what probate is in the state of Georgia. Probate is the actual legal process where someone is named either an executor, a personal representative, or an administrator to settle your affairs, pay your bills, collect your assets, distribute them out to your heirs or beneficiaries, and take care of settling any taxes and other things that might exist at your death. In Georgia, this is actually held at the probate court level in each county. And there are standard procedures that we follow in all of our counties. If you have a will, typically we're naming an executor, and that process is referred to as probating in solemn form. In the absence of a will, we're going to do an intestate probate where we're naming an administrator and we're asking for letters of administration. During this process, the court then either reviews a will, if the will is in existence, or it reviews the petition, which identifies your heirs, and the court will determine then if an executor or administrator will be named. In the event that you have a will, your petition to open probate is going to include your heirs, so they're going to know of the existence of the will, and then your beneficiaries will be noticed as well once the probate is open and you've been named as the executor. If you don't have a will, the heirs are going to be the individuals who are included in the process. Once the executor or administrator is named, there are a number of steps that you'll need to go through. One of those is putting the notices in the legal organ in that county, the legal newspaper, that notices debtors and creditors of the opening of the estate so that they can come forward with any claims that need to be filed. Many times we receive claims from medical billing companies, from credit card companies, from utility companies, and these are all existing debts that have to be paid from the estate. Additionally, the executor administrator will be responsible for filing tax returns and taking care of any outstanding taxes that exist. Their job will also then include payment of those claims that come in. There is a priority in which order these things will be paid, and that executor or administrator will be responsible for paying under that priority and settling them out. Many times we get the question, am I going to be personally responsible for those debts? And the answer is no. The executor or administrator is not personally responsible. And so if we run out of money and we have insufficient money to cover all of the debts, they will be paid by priority, and then they'll be prorated according to what the remaining balance is. One of the other things that you'll do if you're the executor administrator will be preparing inventory and accountings. In some instances, we're able to have these waived by the court and we don't have to report these things to the probate court. However, the beneficiaries or heirs are still entitled to this information. And in other instances, these documents will need to be filed with the court. The last thing that you'll find yourself doing if you're in that role and as we go through the probate process is the actual distribution of the assets that remain after we've settled all of the taxes, we've paid all of the bills, paid funeral bills, taken care of the administration costs, and then we're going to actually settle out the remaining funds to those heirs or beneficiaries. We're going to ask them typically to acknowledge receipt of their share of the estate, and then in our office we practice actual closing of the estate. We recommend that in all instances because it will cut off any claims from creditors who didn't file timely in the future. And so that is just a brief overview of how a probate would go in the state of Georgia. If we can help you, let us know.